Let's talk about something dangerous. It doesn't wear a warning sign, it doesn't come crashing in with sirens, it doesn't show up on your bank statement, or your cholesterol test, or your newsfeed. It's subtle, it's patient, it's boring, and it might be running your life. We call it safety. No, not the good kind, not seatbelts or helmets or flu shots. I'm talking about the kind of safety that looks like a perfectly reasonable life, at least on the outside. But inside, it feels like slowly disappearing into a spreadsheet. There is a version of this story that's become a meme. Girl works in marketing, she's kinda happy, starts a candle company, now she lives in forest and sells soaps on Instagram. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the real adult version. The lawyer who hasn't looked up from her desk in 12 years. The guy running his family business even though he secretly hates it. The manager who got really good at solving problems she no longer cares about. They all said the same thing. This is fine. And it was, until it wasn't. Here's the trick with real risk. It doesn't always feel risky. Sometimes it feels like a secure job with dental, a relationship that's comfortable, a city you stayed in because moving felt like too much work. Comfort isn't bad, but overstaying comfort, that's the real gamble. Let me give you an example. I met a guy once, high performer, sharp guy. He told me he had been feeling off for a while, not depressed, just gray. That's how he described it. Everything feels gray. I asked him what he wanted to change. He said, nothing big, maybe just switch departments. I said, cool, why haven't you? He said, I don't want to take the risk. And that's when it hit me. He already had taken the risk. Because every day you choose something that drains you, that is a risk. It's a bet. You're betting your future self will thank you for staying exactly the same. And most of us make that bet by default. Why? Because we have been taught to define risk backwards. Quitting is equal to risk. Starting over is equal to risk. Launching something is equal to risk. Saying how you really feel is equal to risk. Trying is equal to risk. But staying still, that gets called responsible. Let me ask you this. What if the riskiest thing is never testing your limits? What if the danger isn't making the wrong move, but never moving? Think about the last time you played it safe. Did you really feel secure? Or did you just feel stuck? Because stuck can look a lot like success until you check in with your body, your energy, your Sundays, your silence. Here are some better questions than what if I fail. So instead of that, ask yourself, what if I don't? What if this works? What if I'm already paying a price for staying where I am? Risk is not the villain. It's the filter. It asks, what are you willing to trade for certainty? And are you sure that trade is worth it? I'm not telling you to walk out of your office tomorrow and start a podcast about mushrooms. But I am saying if your gut has been whispering for months, maybe even years, hey, this isn't it. Don't call that a phase. Don't dismiss it as unrealistic. Don't wait for burnout to justify the decision you already know you need to make. That voice, that's not a threat. That's your signal. Here's how I see it now. There are two kinds of risk. The visible kind, where you know you might fall, and the invisible kind, where you quietly stop climbing. One gets the headlines, the other gets regrets. So choose carefully. And if you have been sitting still, afraid of messing up your life, maybe ask yourself, what if staying the same already is messing up your life.